dreams.
Tyler's got big dreams.
Yeah, I know I do. Yep, I do. Yeah, I do. Okay, that's okay though. I'm going live with this. We're just taking it straight live
Let's go
because
straight live.
I did not post our last one, which I should post because that was a good one.
That was a good one. A
And the
lot of
editing,
controversy in there. A lot of
was it?
controversy. Yeah, there was talk of the Third Reich in there. There was talk about communism in there.
There was.
There
There was a
was.
little belittling of NASA.
We did some of that.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I should upload that because the editing part, that's a whole nother ballpark. We haven't gotten to that yet. To take the time to sit down and edit.
I need to get you my my login and everything to Adobe so you can check that out.
There you go. And then we could actually edit some stuff.
Right. Now I am extra tired today.
Why?
Well, I stayed up until midnight last night.
Doing what?
And I was playing video games.
You were playing video games?
Yes.
Okay. What game? And with who? Is this like a live game?
Yeah.
Call of Duty. Okay, that's pretty. I've only played that once. I think at Daniel's house. I think I died right away and immediately was like, nope. I realized at 9 years old, I'm not a video game guy.
It is
can't do it.
So hard. It's so hard, but it's fun. It's fun times. And
is it
Jitter and Crit were on. A couple other people were on.
Jitter is Jack.
Yes.
And Critter is Curtis.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd say the other one.
And you guys were literally we could have done a podcast last night, but instead you played video games with people.
But we did didn't we do a podcast last night? Didn't we do a show last night?
No.
It was Sunday night?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Probably would have been better that we did a show last night because I stayed up way too long. And the problem with that game is the games are about 20 to 25 minutes long and they feel like they're 4 minutes. So you're like, okay, yeah, let's do one more.
Yeah, because they suck you in. They trap you in some kind of weird brain syndrome type dopamine kick, and then you're screwed. You get out of that.
You get that adrenaline and dopamine combo, and it's drip, bro. And you're in it, and you're living it, and you're in the simulation. You're fighting the war in Kiev, and you and your team could win it.
Now you got like a mic set on. You're talking to these individuals in
real time.
Yep,
we can. Yeah, everybody's moving in real time. It's fully live. There's 80 to 100 people per game, and it's an enormous map. It'd take about 30 minutes of running as your character to get from one side to the other. You could go in a car, and it'd take about 8 minutes. Airplane would take about minute 30. Big map.
But you're doing this in real time. And you're not taking 30 minutes to go across these fields of basically you're pretending to kill people, right? Call of Duty is like, hey, because
it's not there's nothing to pretend about it.
Yeah, you're shooting people.
You're actually killing people.
Wow. That's an intense game. Wonder how that helps the population develop, with like our society and culture when we develop these games that are meant to just teach people how to shoot people, kill people. I wonder how that is. Like, would you want a 3-year-old playing this game?
No, I think there should be age restrictions on a lot of things. I'm pro having age restrictions on driving, on owning a firearm, on you need to show some semblance of competence and pass a test. Now, should you pass a test in order to play video games? I don't think so. I think that it's in the entertainment category, and just like you can listen to whatever music you want at whatever age, and that's your choice. And there should be disclaimers and warnings like this music is garbage and will make you dumber, or this game is garbage and will make you dumber. And that's what Call of Duty does, is it literally makes you dumber. And for people with enormous sized brains like myself and you, we need to think about how that makes other people feel when our brains are so large.
Yeah. Big. Caricature large.
Character size large.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like it
mean,
hurts.
most people have like a little bit of I think like a 3/4 of an inch space between the actual brain, the outside membrane, and the pressure of the skull. I believe it's like 3/4 of an inch thick. They say your brain is the size of your two fists put together. Obviously, my brain's pushing against the skull. Like I feel it. I
Yeah.
feel the pressure all around my head
The
because it
headaches and
didn't.
the neck because the extra weight.
Yeah.
You get stronger
Yeah.
neck muscles. Yep.
Yep. So that's where that is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, man. So I'm tired today.
Yeah.
Also, last night before I got on,
Yeah.
I am building my Anne Frank, and you guys, the people watching at home, and even you, Tyler, can check it out at Pro Drew Cash on YouTube. Type that into the search, and then look up for one of my videos called Anne Frank. I live streamed it last night. My progress. I drywalled the inside of it, and I have had some of the hardwood down. And I went straight from that at 8 o'clock or 8:30 to play then Warzone for about 4 hours straight, and then get exactly 4 hours and 30 minutes of sleep. And I literally just got home a half hour ago. Right now it is 6:30, 6:58 Pacific Standard Time as of right now. So around 6:30, I got home. 6:15, I got home. Worked for about 15 minutes. Put a couple pieces of hardwood in. Plugged in my charger on the laptop, which is what I'm currently streaming on, and then cracked a beer and am out here now. Here we go.
Okay. And what's the plan the rest of the night? You gonna have an early night tonight? Gonna get
Tonight's
to bed?
tonight's gonna be one of those fold laundry and watch like a Viking, documentary, or you know, just sit down and kind of just relax a little bit and slowly ease off into the abyss.
There you go. Maybe do a little meditating.
Yeah, maybe.
Or a little Bible reading.
Yeah, I could read the Bible for a little bit, and I did miss the next chapter of Matthew at our church last Sunday because I did not go.
The family wasn't there. No
Well,
pressure by the wife. When the wife is away, the husband will
not
sin.
go to church, apparently.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, you know what it was? Is that's exactly it, and you're telling the truth. And did I want to go? Yes. Did I want to go bad enough to stop what I was doing and get it together and go? No.
Well, there you go.
Because I didn't want it
There's
bad
the
enough.
trickery. There's the human deception right there. Did you want to go? No, you didn't. Because if you wanted to go, you would have gone. Did you want to do something else other than church? Yeah, you wanted to do something else other than church.
So Yoda once said, "Do or do not.
Yeah.
There is no try." But he didn't talk about want.
He didn't do want you will, I say.
So I feel like George Lucas really missed out on that.
Yeah, he skipped over a real big piece of human nature where we're like, oh, I wanted to be there. Well, no, you didn't. Because if you wanted to be there, you would have been there. That's
Right.
the deception. So I actually have I put out a show there where I talk about this human deception. Okay. And where we literally lie to ourselves, and we say things to ourselves, and we literally trick ourselves. Okay, and I talked about this book called A Road Less Traveled by Scott M. Peck. A Road Less Traveled. Okay. Amazing book. And I
Okay.
say I read it, but that's a lie. I audibled it. I listened to the book.
You
Okay.
listened to it. Did you
Yep.
want to read it?
Yeah, but I didn't have it, and it was just easier to. It was easier to just drive and listen to it.
But
Okay.
you
I
wanted
wanted to read it, but I
there
didn't.
you go.
So I decided. See, but he talks about how when you tell yourself, there's two forms of lies. Okay. There's a white lie and a black lie. And this is like a
Let me guess.
clinical.
The black lie's the bad one.
Oh,
Typical.
you're right. It is. It is. But,
What's
you
the
know,
author's name? Adolf.
Scott M. Peck. Don't butcher it. I think he passed away. I don't know. I don't know, though. I completely made that up. I'm not too positive. And he is a clinical psychologist
Okay.
who was a born again Christian at the age of 40 something.
Okay.
Okay. And he talks about how the psychology lines up with scripture a lot. So he talks about how scripture actually works in psychology. Okay. And he talks about when we have two forms of lies. Now I'm not even going to say the color to them because you just made me feel bad about that. Okay.
Don't
Well
feel
done.
bad. You didn't write the book. You're
No, it's
talking about
okay.
a guy that wrote the book.
Yeah, I know, but
And
I should correct it in real time for a person of wokeness as you. And you are woke. We realize that because you have kids. And it seems like people who have young kids in this generation are woke, and you seem like a woke individual. And
and you guessed it spot on. That's
yeah.
exactly it.
So there's two lies, okay? There's one lie that's just blatant. Okay, it's just completely like, you know, somebody's like, "Did you take the car out this evening?" And you're like, "No." And you did. Okay, that's like the worst. That's like a
That's the alpha lie.
yeah, there we go. Okay, and then there's the other lie where somebody's like, "Did you take the car out?" And you're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Did you go to the store?" And you're like, "Yeah, I went to the store." But you actually went to the store and another place. But you leave out the information of the other place. You're not lying because they're not at.
That's what's called a beta lie.
Okay. Yes. And so that's like, you know, manipulating some information about things or leaving out information that you kind of feel in your gut. You're like, probably should say this, but oh yeah, no, just went to the store. So every time you do that, you literally create a total different person in your brain. You've created another persona of yourself that now you have to keep track on. And this individual, this mind that you've created it within your mind is actually like has its own storyline. Because this storyline, you said this person just went to the store and back, leaving out information of what you actually know you did. And we do
Okay.
this quite often. We're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get up at 4:15 tomorrow. Okay. We tell ourselves, I'm going to get up at 4:15 tomorrow. And then we hit snooze and we don't get up till 5:40. That we lied to ourselves. That was a lie. So we've created
Okay.
splits in our personality. The more splits we have in our personality, the more we start to get conjumbled and live in a state of chaos because we're not living one life. We're trying to live multiple lives, you know?
Yeah. No, I get it. And not to interrupt, but I think we should talk about lie type gamma.
What?
Have you heard of this?
No. What's this?
It's called gaslighting.
I
Have you heard
saw
of
this somewhere. I saw this. Is this a book? I saw
No.
something. No. What is it? I saw something.
So, have you heard of what a colloquialism is?
No.
It's the definition of colloquialism is a term that is a slang word, but it's not accepted just amongst one group of individuals. Like typically, slang is started in one, has one ethos and then spreads throughout. A colloquialism is a widely accepted term. So that's what gaslighting is. It's a widely accepted term and has
Okay.
a definition behind it. It gaslighting is termed in the psychology field as what an abuser will do to a victim, typically in a relationship, is make the person, the victim, question reality, and they will lie to the point where they're manipulating the person to believing the falsehood, even though it goes against what they perceive.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so it basically presents a false narrative to the other person, and they
So they basically made up a story,
made up a story, and
and they're
then
convincing them to believe this. They're
convincing
manipulating
people
them
to
into
believe it, and then
believe the story.
they're bringing in sources, they're bringing in friends, they're bringing in people,
Yeah.
and they're also saying the same thing.
They're
And
campaigning for their story.
yep, and they continue this.
Campaign. You see, I dropped that in. They're campaigning
Yep.
for their story.
And the object is to become for the victim to become disoriented and distressed, and that's part of the manipulation. Is if you repeat it and say it and get enough sources and people behind it, then that will change the narrative, and that will change the actual truth.
Okay. Kind of like the moon landing. Is that what you're saying? Are you
Yeah,
equating this to the moon landing?
I'm not equating it to moon landing. I was going to equate it to something else, but I think that's a fair representation of what gaslighting is. Like NASA, again, second show in a row, dude, they come up. They come up.
Yeah.
The biggest example of gaslighting in so far recorded. And that is, and so here's what I would do.
Okay.
Is in this conversation to gaslight you, I would say that's the biggest conversation in United States politics, that they have gaslighted the entire nation, and that is a fact. And so much so, let me pull up this article and video to disprove it.
Video. Wait, hold on. We're live. We're live.
But I'm giving you an example of how to gaslight. I'm saying let's continue down this road on how to do it, so we know what to watch out for. So NASA did this with cooperation from the CIA and Hollywood to make this distortion and this falsity a real an actual event. And in general, it was a good idea to do, because what we were preventing was Soviet power and other countries' trust in us as the leading nation at the time in the late 60s to be able to overcome challenges faster than the USSR. And the reason why that's important is because at that point, rockets and rocket technology needed to carry, and this is post Hiroshima and Nagasaki, needed to be able to carry huge payloads. And those payloads would certainly be carrying nuclear weapons. And the country with the best rocket system would basically be able to show off and then go to Mars, or go to the moon. At this point, is the moon.
Yeah.
We'll get to Mars later. But so that was the ego, and that was the pride. And other countries, second world, third world countries, were looking at which country is going to be the dominant leader in aerospace and technology coming up in the 70s and 80s. And to prevent bad publicity for the United States, they created this. And they created a movie, they hired actors and etc. So that's an example of gaslighting. And so we go into the story, and then I pull up examples, and then everybody that comes into contact with you, I make sure tells the same story.
Yeah.
And that's to circle back, that is lie. That's a lie type gamma. So we just went through alpha, beta, and then I went all the way to lie type gamma. Now zeta we'll save for another show.
Okay. Yeah, because we get into the woods there. We get into the woods with that. So, But I appreciate that. I definitely will look for gaslights around me now.
Yeah.
I'll be like, wait, hold on, confirm that source, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if it gets confirmed. But I guess that's the hard nature of it, because if somebody's gaslighting you, they have got confirmed sources. That's the whole
Right.
point of gaslighting.
Yeah. They're trying to change reality. They're trying
My
to
mind
change
is,
reality around you.
yeah, my mind is blown, blown
Yep.
away. I don't even know
Yep.
what
Yep.
to
Yep.
say about
So
that
I,
or do
I
about
just
that.
I just learned this the other day. I heard this young person use the word gaslighting when talking about somebody they disagreed with politically. And basically, it's a big word for lie. You're
Yeah,
creating an elaborate lie.
an elaborate
And
lie.
that's how most people feel right now. People feel like other people that they disagree with are lying.
Yeah,
And
there's this deterrent from the narrative of debate.
yeah, yeah, and for good reason, because the gaslighting and the it's, man, it's elaborate and it's detailed and it's layered, and there's agencies, and there's people are trying really hard to maintain power, and they'll go through all sorts of things to create a narrative, like the whole I won't get into it because
Sure.
it's
What's
a
happening?
binary discussion. You're either on one side or the other, and that one person thinks they're being gaslit and the other person's doing the gaslighting all the time. Everything is a lie, and there's no middle ground, and there's no nuance, and there's no discussion, and people can't try to figure out where the middle ground is because they're worried about being punched in the face and being called dirty names and all this other stuff. So it's intense, man. It's intense. But the author of your book, Adolf, what was his name?
What? Peck? Pecker? Peck?
Adolf Peck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll have to look into that.
You
Hey,
should you should read
are you interested in being in the book club that I'm in?
it. Yeah, what books are you guys reading?
Well, that's the thing. It's member choice.
Member choice. So you
Yeah.
guys just like kind of. Now, how many books have you how long have you been a part of this book club?
4 months.
4 months. The
Yep.
goal is to read a book in what time frame?
A month and a half.
6 weeks.
Yep.
You allot 6 weeks per book.
Yep.
So you're on your third book.
There has not been an email sent out. I'm going to actually do that right now.
Don't do it right now. We're on show. We're on live. Nobody wants to watch the
Oh,
email.
okay.
Actually, you can. I can keep it going. I can talk.
No,
I can hold it on.
no, that's
I
fine.
talked 45 minutes by myself when you were on a
So
vacation for
here's the
16
deal.
weeks.
Yeah, I
So
was on vacation for 24 weeks.
16. Yeah. What was the first book?
The first book was called 1 Second After.
And did you read the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Word for word.
I read the words inside of the book. It's these books that we're reading are for fun. They're not hard reads.
Okay, and
they're
so
meant to bring up like topics. Like 1 Second After was a story about a North Carolina community that all of a sudden went out of power. And what they discover is after the first couple of days through CB radio or ham radio, that someone launched a rocket about 200 miles above the Earth's crust and detonated an atomic bomb. And that atomic bomb in the atmosphere, once exploded, created what's called an electromagnetic pulse, or EMP. And that EMP, once it hit Earth, didn't kill anyone, unless you had a pacemaker. Didn't kill anyone, but what ended up happening is anything with a microchip or anything electronic,
it just shorted it out.
Shorted it out and ceased to work. So
just one little town in, where'd you say, North Carolina?
North Carolina, and this is where the story took place.
It's
And
true
it goes
story.
It's not. It's in fact not a true story,
Oh,
and
it's fake. Okay.
it's actually a prophecy.
Oh, it's a
Um,
prophecy.
it's not a prophecy, but no, it's a historical nonfiction.
Okay,
So
what
anyway,
was the next book? What was the second book you read?
David Goggins,
Yeah,
you
I
can't
saw
hurt me.
that one. Yeah, I saw
You
that
can't hurt
one.
me.
You
You saw
can't
it?
hurt me. I saw you guys' email because when you were chaining up
Oh,
on that email, that
yeah.
was one of the threads we had for the show. So you guys were like, "Don't." I suggest David Goggins, "Don't hurt me," and David Goggins was just like a guy who lost a bunch of weight, right?
See, that's an example of gaslighting.
He was. David Goggins was a guy who was really
This,
heavy, and then he got skinny, got in shape. Now he does videos of him dumbbell pressing some 80s once in a while. And now he has created this whole persona to make money off just like grind. You get up, you push through the pain, you discipline yourselves. There's no turning back, right? So,
that is
like
this is a
if
perfect. Now Tyler's doing Y Gamma right now.
is no, what is it? What's his story?
Well, David Goggins was raised in a very, very tough time in American history, and
Same time as Ben Carson or different time?
a little bit after Ben Carson,
Oh, okay.
but achieved equal greatness
Did
by
he?
their actions, by who they've saved, by the things that they've done
Okay.
for the world, not for this
Now, I'm
country.
not putting down David Goggins for those that are watching. I don't even know David Goggins. I've seen him
Uh,
before.
I've heard if you say his name out loud, he just appears.
You might. We got a viewer. We got a Goggins viewer.
Yeah, if you hear a knock on the outside of your door, dude, I just hide. Okay. So no, it's he grew up really hard time. His mother and the rest of his family escaped his father and moved away. And David went through some issues as a child that he had to overcome, which contributed to some of his issues as an adult that he still hadn't at the time fully dealt with. He developed a system after he joined, went through 3 hell weeks in the Navy SEALs.
So he
And,
is he an actual? He's an actual Navy SEAL.
yeah, he was in the Air Force.
Oh,
He was
that's impressive.
in the Air Force, and then he went into the Navy SEALs. And the first hell week he went through, he got pneumonia and was coughing up blood. And the drill instructors would not let him participate and gave him a pass. The second time he went, he blew out his knee completely and took 3 months to regain mobility. And so as soon as he was ready, at like the 3-month level, he was supposed to go to physical therapy after 3 months, and he didn't go to therapy and just started training. And went back. He was in the same SEAL team as Chris Kyle, which is a famous American sniper that was murdered on our homeland by a fanboy.
Oh, that's right. Isn't there a movie about him? That's
Yep.
the Bradley Cooper movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then there's a
isn't it?
movie about another one of them with Mark Wahlberg that was in the same SEAL team as David Goggins. That what did this other guy do? It was the one where they fall off the cliffs and rocks, and he's stranded and basically crawled like 14 miles. It's something crazy. I forget his name.
Wow.
But
Crawl.
anyways, so yeah, because his back was broken or something
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So anyways, so he was in a SEAL team of like just straight up heroes. And after he got out of service in the SEALs,
Mhm.
And he did some tours. He saw some action, but after he got out of the SEALs, he um, defeated the pull-up record,
The pull-up record.
which is, I think it's like 2,000 pull-ups or something crazy in one day. And so what
How
he
many
said,
pull-ups?
I think 2,000.
No, 2,000 pull-ups in a day.
Yeah. And so
2,000.
he went to
That's insane.
he went to a pen and paper and started doing the math. Is how many pull-ups do I have to do a minute? How many pull-ups do I have to do in an hour? He said, I can do this. And the first time he did it,
24 hours in a day,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think
240.
it ends up being 5 pull-ups a minute for 24 hours straight.
That seems like it would probably get pretty hard, actually, but maybe not. Well, I guess not if you're David fucking Goggins.
That's what I'm saying. So,
Jeez, can't hurt me. You
yeah,
can't hurt me. Even gravity can't keep me down. 2,000 pull-ups in 24 hours.
And it was something like so he didn't, the first time he tried to do it, he didn't make it.
Oh, so he un-David Goggins himself.
Well, and that's the part of the perseverance, and you have to have the will and the fight.
Yeah, the will, because free will's real. Yeah, that's true.
And
pretty much, but that's
yeah.
okay.
So while he was in the SEALs, one of his stories that stuck out to me was he was in the SEALs, and what they do is they break you down mentally by keeping you awake for multiple days at a time. They don't feed you. They give you the water breaks are never scheduled. You just get a water break every 12 hours or something like that, or maybe you get 2 in 1 hour. Like you don't know. And
they try to mess with you. They try to break you down because you got to be able to have the mental toughness and wherewithal in the most extreme conditions.
Right. We're trying to build like the toughest, most hard people in the world to be the tip of the spear. And that's what these guys are. And so on his third round, after being getting a double lung,
it's okay, it'll pop back on.
A double lung infection, pneumonia.
Who? And Goggins.
Yeah,
we're still on Goggins.
Yep, and then double lung infection, and then he blew his knee out. And then he came back for his third round, and that's when he was with all of the famous people from the SEALs, SEAL Team 6, all those dudes. He had already gone through it and knew the instructors. Like he had already been through Hell Week, and he knew what their routine was. He knew that all the instructors got off on him and watching these younger versions of the instructors' selves. So the younger versions of themselves fail, and that was an ego boost to the instructors. And David didn't like that. And what he said is he always rallied his team, and he was on boat crew 2. And on one of the nights when they were just dragging and they'd been up for 36 hours, they were going on the beginning of day 2 of being awake and just being brutalized physically, being out in the ocean in 50 degree weather outside, and the ocean was a little bit colder. And they were just laying in the water and not allowed to put their arms over their chest. They just had to lay their arm out. Just freezing, and then they had to get up and lift a boat over their head. And he rallied his team, and he said, we're gonna fuck with the instructors today. We're gonna let them know that they can't fuck with us. And so what he had his boat crew do is they have to throw this boat over their head, and they just really, what it comes down to is they just end up lifting it up and down over and over again. But what his crew did is they just started yelling, "You can't fucking hurt us. You can't fucking hurt boat crew 2." And the look on the instructors were tired because they're up with them as well. They're just not in the water and not doing it physically. They're tired. They're drinking their coffee. They're in a parka. with outdoor pants and warm, dry socks and boots. And he said that the look on the instructor's face said it all, and that I'm trying to think of his words. I'm butchering this right now, but he told his boat crew while they're throwing the boat up in the air, is like, they ain't fucking tonight. And anyway, so that was a really good book. So we're looking. So
okay, that was
that doesn't go into the marathons that he did. He ended up doing
he did a lot of things physically. He did a lot of things physically to present this persona.
Well,
I had a tough life.
Also mentally, he was able to levitate objects weighing over than around 10 pounds. So mentally, he's there too.
Oh, he can levitate stuff.
Yeah, that's what no one knows, and that's
must
why
be in the preface part of the book. Oh, geez.
No, that actually is at the very end of the book.
And by the way, I levitate stuff, and I'm on that note.
It's only one paragraph.
It's like it all leads up to by the end of this, and I was able to levitate objects. And here's a YouTube link to me moving my remote closer to me.
He only does things that are like super convenient. Like, oh, my car keys are too far away from me.
They just
now they're in my
across
hand.
The table like 3 feet.
Yeah, now they're in my hand.
Yeah.
He's like super depressed about it.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't do anything over 10 pounds.
I dropped my wallet. Okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah, he's like super depressed that he can't do anything over 10 pounds.
Yeah,
he's like, there's a limit. I've tried, worked on it for years. There's a 9 pounds, 15 ounces is the limit.
All right, we'll pick a book on this next round, and we'll go. Actually, you know what? I have a suggestion.
Okay, let me look it up.
I don't know right now. I don't know what I was thinking right now. I know there was this book that I was going to get. I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. It's probably on my Amazon history, because I was like, oh, I think I'm going to order that, because I have a Kindle, so I usually read my book on a Kindle.
What's that?
What do you mean? What's that?
Well, you have a Kindle? Is that like Kindle. A kid? What's a Kindle?
Kindle's like a little. It's like just basically a digital book. It's like looks like a little iPad. Little tiny iPad. This is way back in the day. Amazon used to pump these out.
Like a cell phone?
No, it's like bigger than that. It's like as big as a book. It's like as big as this book.
Okay.
Like this size. I have this right next to me.
Yeah.
It's like this size, and it's just a digital book. You just flip it open, like a little iPad almost.
So you
download books.
You open the book and it shows you the pages of the book?
No. You open the book and the top part is nothing. It's just a screen cover. Okay, it's just a plastic.
I'm so confused. The top part is the plastic screen cover.
Then this part, when you open it, don't look under my phone code. So just to pretend my phone code's not there. You open the book.
Okay.
And then it's like a digital screen. But it actually has no blue light in it. So it's like it's just black and white. There's no color.
What's that?
Blue light kills you. Well, actually, no. Blue light, I think, is good for you if you get it from the... Well, I don't know where blue light comes from. I want to make a bunch of stuff up right now. I want to gaslight the crap out of you, but I'm not going to. I'm going to admit my I'm going to admit my dumtelligence. And blue light comes from screens, though. It comes from computer screens, from phones. You can actually turn the blue light off, and then it looks kind of yellow when you look at it. It looks funky, like somebody peed on your screen, like a hint of piss over it. But
the Kindle doesn't have blue light?
Yeah, because blue light keeps you up. Blue light hits a certain part in your retina, and it shoots in there, and it actually activates the receptors that tell you it's daytime, so you need to wake up. So it inhibits the production of melatonin. That's why they say you should turn off your TV or any screen items for at least an hour before you go to bed. But if you got a Kindle, no blue light. I can stare at that till I fall asleep.
So
I download a book. I just download a book.
Yeah.
I read it. When I'm done with it, click download the next one. I have a book in hand.
Does it read it to you?
No, can't read it to me. Well, maybe the new ones can. Mine's a hand-me-down from a homeless person.
Okay. So I guess I'm trying to think. So you have a big cell phone that folds like up like a book?
Yep, exactly. It's a giant phone.
So you have two different. You have a page on one side, a page on the other.
No, nope. I told you the cover is just a screen. Don't look at my phone. The cover is this is just a plastic cover, and then and then you just have screen on one side.
How do you get another page though?
You just go like this. You swipe right.
You swipe.
Actually, no. You don't even swipe. You just push it. Just go boop.
Is there a button, or you push the screen?
Well, you know what's cool is I can if there's a word I don't understand because I'm reading this book right now. I'm almost done with it. It's by Oswald Chambers.
Yeah,
you know
Peter Rabbit. Yeah, Peter Rabbit. Yeah,
no, this is Oswald Chambers. This is a book by Oswald Chambers. My utmost for his highest. Okay.
Yep.
Today's devotional was the discipline of dismay. My screen is mirrored, so you can't see it. The dismay and the Mark 32. And as they followed, they were afraid. Okay, and then it talks about how following Jesus, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. But
yeah,
good book. He wrote a book called Biblical Psychology. Okay? Talks about the psychology from a biblical perspective. And there's a lot of big words in there that I don't understand.
Okay,
but in that book, I can click
on
the word.
Click on it, and it'll. What will it do, though?
It'll bring up Wikipedia.
So is this similar? So you have a cell phone, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you download a book onto your cell phone?
Yep.
And there's a blue light filter on your cell phone?
Yep.
Okay. So the Kindle is a big cell phone that can't make phone calls, read emails, or look on the internet.
Nope.
No?
No.
What is it?
No. It's a book reading device.
But can you go on the internet?
No.
Can you?
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah.
You can?
To get books.
To get books.
Yeah.
Can you download music?
Yeah.
You can download music?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what this device was made for.
To read books. And I understand what you're getting at. And I would plause this back at you and say, why do you have a laptop and a phone when you could have just bought a phone that can enhance as the laptop?
And I just
why did you buy a phone that just calls stuff?
You just walked into a trap, bro.
But you know what? This Kindle is free, and it makes me feel. It feels more bookish.
Okay, that's what I want to get at. Emotionally, that's where you like it. Makes you feel something.
No, not really.
Let me tell you about like a book. A book makes you feel like a little bit like someone made this paper, and when you're turning the pages, the texture on the pages and the sound it makes as you close one page and start another one.
You know what that sound is? That sound. Every time you turn a book's page, a tree falls over and dies. A whole tree. It takes a whole tree to make one piece of paper. Did you know that?
That's not true. One.
No, that's very true. Look it up on NASA.
That's the problem is NASA only has the studies on that. No, and what I really appreciate about trees and everything that plants and every living thing, I think trees are a living thing. But they have a purpose.
They are. A tree is half your lungs. Did you know that, right?
Well,
you know that
my lungs are my lungs. A tree is
half of your lungs.
Oxygen.
Half of your lungs are trees. If there were no trees here, if there was no trees and no plants, to spit out carbon dioxide or oxygen, because they do it in reverse, those sneaky bastards, would you be alive?
You could be,
No.
yeah.
Nope,
You-
you'd be
you
dead.
could be. That's not
Half
true.
of your lungs are hanging on a tree outside your door. Think about that.
They're
Because
not.
yeah, they are, because they
Okay.
pump out the oxygen that you breathe, and then you give them carbon dioxide for them to breathe.
No, there's
If
a
we did not
symbiotic
have this
relationship between plants
cohabitant,
and I agree with that. There's a symbiotic relationship, but that's all it is.
so half of your breathing device is on a tree outside your door.
That's not true. That's
How is it
true.
not true? That tree is giving you life. You couldn't breathe without that tree. That's half of your breathing device. Just because it's
No,
not in you.
it's
Wow. What a
it's an,
U.S. way to think. What a United States way to think. I'm
Hmm.
on guru level.
No, I don't isolate things down to the level of just one tree. I think that all trees are important.
Yeah, they're all
And
half
they,
your lungs.
well, that would mean there's 10 billion halves.
Yeah. Yep. That's how that math works out. Look up NASA, bro.
I'm
Okay.
going to look this study up on NASA, and
Okay.
you're trying to gaslight me right now, and I'm not going to
Oh, yeah.
fall for it. I'm not going to fall for
All right.
it. Okay. So there's
Yeah.
there's a book. There's a book coming up, and you know what? Your birthday's coming up in September,
No.
October,
November
November
11th.
was my next guess.
Yeah. No, it's September.
Is it really?
Yeah. Okay. I got to go here. I got to go. I got to go make dinner.
All right. All right. What are you making?
Tacos.
What kind? What kind of tacos? Beef?
Beef taco. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I wasn't
Not
going to
cooked.
say anything weird after you said what type of taco.
No, I mean,
That was
but we
actually
don't cook it. We don't cook the beef because cooking
Yeah.
actually kills food. This is something that people should know. So give me a second to explain this to people. Cooking food actually was what started to shrink our brains. We'd be much more bigger brained in society now. This is one of the reasons I have a big brain, is because I don't cook my food. Because if you cook food, you kill the cells. So really, you just have to you have to build up your gut biome to be able to handle raw meat. And that's what I've done.
So you have red tacos coming up.
Yeah, that's what we call them too.
Red
Can
tacos.
I have, yep, honey, can I have more red tacos uncooked, please? Don't cook it. You know, if people would understand this, we'd be much smarter. We'd probably just have such the craziest tools.
What? Okay, so we have way better tools. What are we, like Neanderthals at this point?
We are now. We
That's
are now. We
Welcome
weren't
to
before.
Dumtelligence. And this is what, and literally, if Tyler didn't have to leave right now, and also just an insight for people, if we weren't recording our conversations, this is the exact same conversation Tyler and I would have with each other.
We would be having these conversations.
The same one, except for we would be arguing way more, because I realize now that Tyler's been trying to gaslight me my whole
I'm
life.
trying to speak truth to you, bro, so that you walk out your door and maybe you look to the tree to the side of your front frickin' door and maybe you spit it a little grateful once in a while, as opposed to just thinking it's not true. Yeah, I'm alive because of you. Maybe give it a little kiss. Maybe say thank you, tree.
Yeah.
And then go eat your fucking uncooked meat.
Yeah. No, I
You know what?
I want to
You know
do
what
a
I've realized?
video.
Okay. I've realized
Next-
that it takes us about 40 minutes to get into a good flow. Okay.
What are you talking about? We've hit it since minute 1.
No, we didn't. We did not. We've been wasting a lot of time talking about stuff. It took 49 minutes to get to uncooked meat. This is where I've been trying to take the conversation the whole time we've been on this show today, is trying to get to the conversation of not cooking damn meat.
Oh my gosh, dude, I'm so tired. Everything right now is ridiculous. Everything.
Well, I'm gonna let you go so you can get some sleep. I was supposed to get off the show 20 minutes ago to cook dinner, so I white lied myself. Son of a bee, just gaslighted my own face.
Better than a beta lie.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. But yeah, you're right. Well, guess what? On next time, we're gonna bring to you the Zeta lie.
Zeta lie coming in hot next time on Dumtelligence.
Boom. All right. Now I got to get out of this. Oh. Okay.